In this video guide, we will show you how to upgrade the memory and storage in the HP ZBook G9, a powerhouse for creative professionals. But before we start, here's a quick overview of some of its impressive features. The latest HP ZBook G9 is a mobile workstation designed to cater to the needs of creative professionals and power users alike. This powerful laptop boasts a sleek design, impressive performance, and a host of features that make it an ideal choice for artists, designers, and engineers on the go. The HP ZBook G9 is packed with high-performance components, such as the latest Intel Core i7 or i9 processors, 16 or 32 GB of RAM which can be upgraded to a maximum of 64 GB, and NVIDIA RTX or Quadro professional graphics options. One of the standout features of the ZBook G9 is its expandability. With the ability to add 2 SODIMM DDR5 memory modules and 2 M.2 NVMe SSD drives, upgrading your RAM and storage has never been easier. Furthermore, the laptop has an array of connectivity options, including a Gigabit Ethernet and HDMI port, 3 super speed USB Type-A, 3.2 Gen 1 ports, which offer transfer speeds of up to 5 gigabits per second, 1 USB-C port with Thunderbolt 4 which provides impressive transfer speeds of up to 40 gigabits per second, an Intel Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, supporting gigabit transfer speeds. So, let's get started with adding additional RAM and a second M.2 NVMe SSD drive. First, make sure you're working in a static-free environment and start by carefully unscrewing the 5 Phillips screws on the rear of the laptop, which are placed in these locations. Then, using a thin flat tool, carefully pry open the casing to unclip the aluminium shell from the inner frame. It should unclip with ease, so be careful not to apply too much force to prevent breaking the molded clips. Take note of the memory and SSD slots which are located in these positions. Avoid touching any of the internal components unless you are wearing a static band. Now, disconnect the battery from the motherboard before adding your new components, which is demonstrated here. Now remove the DDR5 memory module from its protective casing and install it into the available slot. It is important to note, if you are installing RAM into both available slots, only identical modules are supported. Make sure you purchase the correct memory or consult your local dealer for assistance. It can only be installed in one direction, so make sure you align the pins correctly. Once you've aligned the pins and inserted the module into the slot, push down firmly until you hear it click into place. Next, have a close look at the SSD slot and the SSD module. It should be obvious which way to slide it in. It has a distinct groove which can only be inserted in one direction. Take note of the screw on the opposite end to the slot, and make sure you secure the module by screwing it into place. This will complete the steps needed to add additional RAM and storage to the laptop. Before reassembling it, make sure you reconnect the battery, as shown here. Finally, carefully place the base cover so that it aligns with the screw holes and clips. Then push down firmly until you hear it clip in place, and fasten the screws securely. When first powering on the laptop, you should see a warning displayed, alerting you that a memory change has occurred. Simply press Enter to accept the change, and the laptop will start to boot. The only remaining step will be to configure the operating system to recognize the additional storage. The steps will differ, depending on what operating system you're using, but for Windows the steps are simple. Log into Windows, right-click the Start menu and select Disk Management. If your SSD is brand new and has never been used, Windows will recognize that it has not been initialized and display a dialog box with the options available to partition your disk. These are either MBR or GPT-style partitions. For more information on the differences between these partition styles, please refer to the links available in the description of this video. For simplicity, an MBR partition will only recognize disks that are no larger than 2 TB in size. If your disk is larger than 2 TB, then select the GPT partition style. Once the disk is initialized, you can allocate the space and format the disk. There are a number of ways you can allocate the space, and is dependent on your specific requirements. For simplicity, we will allocate all available space to a new simple volume, selecting the defaults and then click Finish. The disk will now be ready for use. This concludes the steps in upgrading RAM and storage in the HP ZBook Power G9. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe so we can bring you more useful videos like this.